The easiest way to assess an agent's lead performance is using the lead performance report. So to do that, you'll need to switch to the admin side if you're not already on it. We'll click our name, switch to admin side, and go down to leads and contacts and tools. Here, we'll want to click on lead performance report. So what this report does is it shows you a list of customers, so how many active, inactive, or any other statuses that are attached to whatever criteria you've selected above. It also shows you their fastest, slowest, and average response times. So this is how long it took for this lead or all of the leads that are in this report to be processed. And then you can also see all of the requests attached to any of the leads that came back from this report, as well as totals for all those. And lastly, you can see a breakdown of the fee types of all the leads that came back from this report query. Now the options you have to specify what kind of listings or what kind of leads you get returned by this report can all be found up here. So you can choose last 30 days is what you'll get by default, but you can select last month or various other preset options, or you can also set a custom range here. And if I select custom range, it gives me the ability to select the dates I want. Next, we can look at just leads that are assigned directly to agents by selecting all agents only. So this would exclude any leads that were assigned to the leads administrator or left unassigned. We can look at a specific office. So if I select that, it gives me the option to select which office I want. That'll give me only leads that were assigned to agents in a specific office. And I can also select specific agent if I want to see only leads that were assigned to a particular agent. Lastly, or not lastly, but next I can select different fee types. So if I want to see only fee leads and just leave out the non-fee leads, I can do that by selecting fee there. Or I can go through these request sources and I can look at leads that only had a specific request sort attached to them. So for example, if I wanted to see only leads that were either walk-ins or incoming calls, I can select walk-in, or I can scroll up here to inbound call, hold down the control key and click that one, and that selects both of them. And then I could go down here and click update report, and that would return all the leads that pertain to specifically the criteria I've chosen. Now the last thing I can do here is I can calculate the response time of the lead based on the office hours. So if I click on that, that's going to take that office hours into consideration when it calculates what the average response times are. The way that works is, for example, if a lead came in at midnight and the office doesn't open until 8 o'clock in the morning, and let's say the agent came into the office and at 8:15 they processed that lead. So if we're not taking the office hours into account, it took that agent 8 hours and 15 minutes to process that lead. If we are, it only took the agent 15 minutes. Now the way this setting works is when you select this, it'll look at the lead, it'll say what agent was it assigned to, and then it'll look at what office that agent is a member of, and then see if there are any hours associated with that office that are already set through the office's system on the admin side. If there are office hours set, it'll use those. If there are no office hours set, it'll use the hours that you set here. And by default, it's set to 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, closed on Saturday and Sunday. To run that report, we'll just click Update Report, and in this case, there are not very many leads in the system, so there are no matches, so we just get all zeros. Now let me go back and rerun the default for this report. So now, when we're looking at results in this report, we can see that in our list of total customers, there's also a total customers link here. So if I click on that, that's going to take me over to the customer list page that is going to display what those customers actually are. So I got 11 results there. This should show me the customers that I actually were looking at in that report. And now from here, I can click on Actions and I can view profile to go directly to that customer's profile page, or make any changes or just make any further assessments based on what those leads actually were. Now the other thing I can do is we'll go back into Leads and Contacts, Tools, Lead Performance Report, and if we look under Requests, these are the requests that pertain to these specific leads. So if I want to see what these requests actually were, and not just these numbers that, overall counts of them, I can just click on my total request link here, and that takes me to this request report that should be using the same criteria as the lead performance report. So these should be what all those requests actually were. And now from here, I can see the actual time that the request came in, when it was processed, how it was processed, what the customer's name is, how long it took for the agent to respond to this customer, which is just a calculation of the time it was processed versus the time it was actually made. And I can also see some information about request source, request type, and assign type. And that really gives me some insight into where that lead came from exactly. So I can see that it came in from the company website and it was a showing request. So we know somebody went to the company website, they picked a listing, and they made a showing request on it. If I wanted further information about this, I could click View under the customer name, and that'll take me to the customer's profile page where I can go down to their history section and see what this lead actually was. Or I can click on the syslog, and that'll tell me why this lead behaved the way it is. And the syslog is meant to be a system log, so it's not built to be very pretty and very readable, but it will tell you exactly why a lead did what it did. Now if I go back to my lead performance report, the last thing we can see there is just the fee type breakdown. And there are the links out to other pages here. This just gives you a breakdown of what kind of fee types came in from those leads.